Following the recent earth tremor recorded in Abuja on the 4th of August this year, the Minister of Solid Mineral Development is asking us to be calm. While we try to be calm, tonight we go back and remind you of previous earth tremors experienced in Abuja, particularly at the Mpape area of the Buhari Area Council. Also tonight, we discuss infrastructure development in the nation's capital, as addressed by the FCTA minister in his monthly media chat. This is Dateline Abuja. Hello and welcome to Dateline Abuja. I'm Kayla Megwa. Let's begin with the presidency and keep you up to date on the recent events President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been up to in the past week. It's time for Abuja Wrap.
Speaking during a ceremony to honor the FCTA administration for its environmental efforts, the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has commended the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, for transforming Abuja's City Gate into a major recreational and environmental landmark. Senator Oluremi Tinubu said she was impressed by the transformation of the City Gate, describing it as unbelievable.
The Honorable Minister, when I saw what he did with the City Gate, my God, unbelievable, unbelievable. And I want to thank him. He's done very well. And he said because of that, he's trying to transform more. The permanent secretary for women who said they are interested in the last challenge. I said that would be great. And it will help clean our nation around.
The Presidential Working Group on the National Policing Bill has launched nationwide consultations aimed at establishing a robust legal and operational framework to safeguard the effective implementation of state policing across the country. Addressing State House correspondents, the Chief of Staff to President Bola Tinubu, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, who is the chairman of the group, said the initiative aims to design a lawful, professional and sustainable dual policing system that brings policing closer to the people while preserving national standards, national security and the rights of every Nigerian.
This is a monumental reform that Nigerians have debated over for many years. The question before the country is how we transform our policing architecture to become more responsive to the realities of our communities. Thus, our central task is now to design a lawful, professional, and sustainable federal and state policing system that places greater capability closer to the people while presenting national standards, national security, and the rights of every Nigerian.
Following the meeting between the federal government and the leadership of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NERD, convened to avert the association's planned strike, NARD President Dr. Mohammed Suleiman expressed optimism. He noted that the issues in contention have been resolved in principle, with clear timelines agreed upon for their implementation. Speaking during a high-level meeting convened by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, which brought together key government stakeholders, including the Ministers of Labour, Health and Finance, as well as senior Treasury and budget officials, the NARD president noted that the planned strike could not be called off immediately, but explained that the latest commitments had moved the needle to a very large extent. He added that these assurances would now be presented to the National Executive Council, which will determine the next steps.
This is not the first time the Chief of Staff has intervened in matters relating to resident doctors in this country. About 6-7 years ago when he became Speaker, it was the first opportunity he had to intervene, and he has always intervened. And whenever he came into our issues, our matters are solved. And today, I can tell you our matters are solved. Solved in the sense that timelines have been agreed upon by various agencies of government. On salary and promotion areas, we're talking about a week. On the call mill issue in Luth, we're talking about a week so that we'll get implementation. We have agreed on a figure, we have agreed on numbers.
Welcome back. In our focus on the FCT this week, we examine the history of earth tremors in Abuja as the Nigeria Geological Survey Agency gives us details of yet another earth tremor in the nation's capital. And the Minister of Solid Mineral Development urges us to remain calm. The Nigerian Geological Survey Agency has released an alert stating that earth tremors shook several buildings on Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. According to the report, the NGSA stated that it recorded the earth tremor at approximately 11:23:27 a.m., noting that it originated from a 1-kilometer depth and spreading across a distance of 4 kilometers in 5 seconds. Although Nigeria is not located on a major tectonic plate boundary and is generally regarded as having low seismic activity, isolated earth tremors have been recorded in parts of the country over the years, including in Abuja, Kaduna, Kogi, Oyo, and Bayelsa states. Since the year 2000, Nigeria has experienced a handful of documented earth tremor episodes. Most have been low-magnitude interplate tremors rather than destructive earthquakes. In August of the year 2000, an earth tremor in Jushi, Kwari area of the FCTA was one of the first documented earth tremors in the nation's capital. In September of 2018, the earth tremor, which occurred in Mpape, Maitama, Katankpe, Buari, and surrounding areas, is one of the most significant in the history of the nation's capital. In September of 2024, another earth tremor happened at Pape, Katankpe, and adjoining communities. Back in September of 2024, we went to Pape, a densely populated area within the Buari Area Council, to see for ourselves what was happening with these earth tremors. The tremor, which began a few days before, had raised concerns among residents of the area.
This one around, just a small, this not be like before. And that time what happened was that they called the government's attention and the government enter here to do the necessary thing what they're supposed to do. And watch that and the thing stop. Still now, the thing happen again, and the same thing. No need crack for any building. Nothing happen. Just shaking the ground. Let them take action for it, because from there we can know what is going on.
Though the community borders one of Abuja's highbrow areas, Maitama, the area is popular for licensed quarry activities, especially in the interior parts of the community. However, at this time, the residents believed there was no link between the quarry activities and the earth movement.
From 1 o'clock to 2, I'm very, very scared because I was inside, but I have to come outside to look what is happening. But I see all the mountain, there's nothing like shaking. And then maybe in 1 hour or 1 hour, 30 minutes, it still shake again. Even here where you did, shake everywhere. So it is very serious something. May federal government do something about it.
Even people, they hear it. They think other na blasting. Because you know all this area na blasting places. So even person hear it, in go think other na blasting. Before me myself, I think so other na blasting people.
This tremor in 2024 did not record any disruptions in the community, though the people asked the authorities to address the issue. This is, however, not the first time that there will be earth tremors in Pape district. This was Pape in 2018. At the time, the residents of the area also complained of earth tremors. But at that time, they blamed the tremors on the incessant blasting in the quarries in the area.
Almost 4 times I had it. I thought that maybe the house collapsed behind my building. I quickly ran inside. But at the end of the day, I didn't say anything.
When I heard the sound, the whole room was shaking, as in the building was shaking as if it wanted to collapse. So I quickly stood up and went outside. When I got outside, I thought I would see my neighbors around, but nobody came out.
All of a sudden, we started hearing boom, and it didn't sound like a blast. But when you hear boom, the next thing is ground will be shaking. And it will shake your leg.
The one I do 6 o'clock in the morning today is worse. Even you are interested, if you did that outside, you are interested, I go to shake.
At the time, the Director General of the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency said there was no need to panic because Nigeria doesn't belong to the plate boundaries and is not prone to earthquakes. He did note, however, that Pape is predisposed to intraplate tectonics, citing a fracture from Pape to Kwei in Kaduna State, which had experienced an earth tremor in 2016.
The fact that we experience it at Mpape does not necessarily mean that the origin is at Mpape. It may have been triggered elsewhere, but because of the relative weakness around Mpape, that's why we are feeling it around that area. The present administration has done so much in terms of assisting the agency in its mandate of generating geoscience data. So recently we acquired some 6 sets of seismic monitoring or earthquake monitoring equipment. We are presently in the process of deploying them in different zones of the country, determined by the geology, of course. In Kaduna, in Abuja, in Yola, in Bador, Calabar, and Oka. So definitely by the time these equipments are deployed, it will give us quick information as to where probably you could have this kind of event, so that you warn people beforehand, even before it occurs. So we feel that in the next 1 month or so, we'll have deployed all these seismic equipment and to enhance the safety of citizens of Nigeria.
In 2018, we made our way on motorbikes to the quarries accused of carrying out blasts that the residents at the time blamed for the tremors. At the time, this quarry had been functioning in Pape for 20 years. And the managers in 2018 expressed worry over the encroachment of buildings to the site. The site engineer at the time took us through the process of blasting and said there was no correlation between blasting activities and the earth tremors experienced in the area.
Blasting, we're supposed to be very cautious. Okay, we control this process very well. Before we start the blasting, we send to our neighbors. We have another company here, they are neighbor for us. We inform them that we will blast by which time. And also the Pompo police and the police, they help us to block this route and also to confirm that we evacuate all the villagers or anyone inside the farms close to us here. After that, they give us the feedback that everything is okay, you can go ahead and blast. After that, we do the blasting.
In a statement issued by the Office of the Minister of State for Mines and Steel in 2018, all blasting activities had been suspended in Pape until the Nigeria Geological Survey Agency concluded its investigation to establish the trigger of the earth tremor and assures the safety of lives and property of the general public. In 2024, residents were told not to panic as they experienced another series of earth tremors in the same area. A statement issued in 2024 by the Minister of Solid Minerals, Mr. Dele Alake, read, quote, "Over the past few days, our monitoring station at Katankpe has recorded several ground motions with an increase in intensity and frequency from September 13 to the 16th. The tremors are caused by accumulated stress along identified faults and have multiple epicenters, mainly around Pape and Katankpe. Their intensity ranges from weak to light, posing a very low threat. I advise residents not to panic as these tremors are low in intensity. We are actively monitoring the situation and will provide updates as needed. Our NGSA seismic stations are also being monitored in real time for prompt alerts on any major events," end quote. Fast forward to 2026, the same Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Mr. Dele Alake, is again urging residents of the Federal Capital Territory to remain calm following the August 4th, 2026 earth tremor that shook several buildings in some parts of the nation's capital. In a statement by his special assistant on media, the minister is urging residents in the territory to go about their daily activities without fear, assuring them that proactive measures have been deployed to ensure the safety of lives and properties. Furthermore, the ministers directed the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency to provide hourly updates to him for regular review and possible escalation to other relevant agencies if the need arises. Away from earth tremors, earlier this week, the FCT minister held his monthly media chat. Infrastructure development took up the bulk of the conversation, as many suburbs in the nation's capital are calling for his intervention. Citizens are hoping that he'll stretch his infrastructure drive to all nooks and crannies of the nation's capital. The minister also responded to some outstanding issues Abuja residents have been seeking answers to. Please watch this.
It occurred to me that as we are coming to my official residence, that this land about there, which so beautiful, I found that it was supposed to be a recreational center that had been abandoned for years. So yesterday I got there, it was amazing. Amazing to the point that it has where you can play sporting activities, all kinds of remote. Look at the natural rocks there. And I took a look. What we are going to do, we know that when I constructed that. Right. But let's see whether we can have 3 designs by inviting 3 major companies to give us different designs that will be able to choose one. So, if we're able to achieve that, that takes care of those who are dealing within the life camp by putting those sporting activities there too. And even keep the restaurant there. And you will see that it gives the city a different look. That's what it's supposed to be. You go to a city, you know, say it's not attractive. You just, in fact, the where this park, the Bididon Park, is empty. Totally empty. There's nothing that attractive. I was there one time. I thought, what park you do? We just come like that, carry that phone, put your head, just. So maybe it's first. These are details that make people not to stay in their city. So we'll say that she has challenged us, and that challenge is worthy of it. Yeah, when outside the one, I'm going to take it. Yeah. And then, you know, for the plain important to know the water. That was from Mother to the satellite town. You know, the essence of water, you know, they put out some water. And so, for me, these are 2 key projects that I take to heart. That particularly, for example, the water, they take to the poor people. They have access to water. The Town Center is where youths will gather. So it's these are the things that touch society that you will have to look. I am happy. If you see the comments on the youths when they get to that city gate, it's something they have been yearning for. This is the kind of thing that we will want to. Every time we watch television, we see what's happening all over the world. This thing can be put in our place. It's not the rocket science. It's something that if you are committed to, then you will do it. And we have done it. So the happiness of the youth for me is key. It's key. And that the poor people can access water in the rural area is key. Road is important, yes, but these are the 2 key projects I think that I'm very happy. Okay, very happy.
Well, Femi will ask the next question, but quickly on the issue of water. I don't know whether it's come to attention that there is scarcity of water in Abuja. Residents of areas like Wuse, I think Karki and something.
I think what has happened that they are used for the care with the Rosma now, yes. We take the notice with what that was something else. You know, when they have divisions. So we have sensation that at this, where that. And again, the recommendation made in the committee is not very, I'm not very comfortable with things. But if we begin to keep this your food, it means it becomes a property. And government will not have control. So that way when they are saying, oh, give us a CO4 and this, we have to look. We don't have to have it, matter of understanding that government, I give that this to for you to trade and this to have to government will also have also control over it. But we believe that before the end of the year, we have sorted out the other issues. Already the infrastructure and provided. So that's where we are. And you talk about the KKR and this, I still you know, just this morning, I find the approval but we had a second council election where I did not just crossing the users, but for issue of security, it has become a threat from our security reports. Bandits or they don't actually using wood style. Oh yeah.
So it's the problem. And so the authority secretary general to map out areas where we do not dent the keke napep and the motorcycle. But it will be difficult for you to find them in the entire Abuja. Particularly, it is necessary within the city not to allow keke napep and the Okada. So that they are working that out. It just made our providers want to reduce and logistics. Even the destitute beggars all over the places. And each time we take them out, they come in again. Each time you take them out, they come in again. And people say, oh, why not provide where they will be staying in freedom? How will we continue to be doing that? It means you are encouraging people to live from Kogi. You are encouraging them to live from Nassau. You are encouraging them to live from Niger. You are encouraging them to live from Kaduna. How can you fund that? It is not possible. So we try to take them back to where they are coming from. In the next 1 month, it's still working like. I know Abuja is the center, under my 4 states. So it's the big problem, but we will do the best we can. No area council can allocate land to you. Supreme Court General said it or land in MDFs belongs to FCT. But what we have done was, look, okay, if they have done that, come and regularize it. So we'll be able to issue you certificate of the process. Of course, they know. They advertise it. You see, it takes us difficult. We don't like to follow rules. We don't like to follow rules. All we want, okay, it can go ahead. We are forgiving you. Forgiving what? Go and regularize and pay the necessary fee. Then we issue your fee. The land does not belong to you. You can't go and build something you don't have. So that is the issue. So people should go and regularize. And it is there, the processes are there. We have been signing, if I have not signed on those area council land, I've signed over 5,000 or 6,000. I have, so people should go and do that. Okay. Talk about Manila Park. If you ask us, what's the problem with the parks? First of all, government has made a mistake. Our government continues to make a mistake. People sit down and defraud the government that is out. If you look at the memorandum of understanding, we don't have anything to do with polo homes. There's one company called Jonathan something. I don't know went and brought polo homes and they are parking. We are not aware. People like that, they want not to do it. They ought to seek our consent. So far they had problems. And by their problem, even the leases are expired. So, I looked at it, look, should we take a lot of love movements? You talk, people can start to laugh. These are Nigerians, and they may have, they
They are not involved. And they just, apply the laws and people will suffer, and all those kind of things. And we give it a human face. So, well, for now, let's send back, let's give them back their CFOs. The Nigerians were built whichever way, even though the CFOs are noticing, when they were giving Polo Homes the CFO, and Polo Homes redirecting to them or listen to them, I should thought even. So there are a lot of things involved. But sometimes, when we try to study people outside will not understand. So, but what happened? In trying to resolve it, in fact, we told the two parties, we told the Guardian that, look, but what is our stake? You are only fighting amongst yourselves who have cheated each other, who have not cheated each other. Why are we involved? Why are we paying money to our lawyers? To do what? Now that the news are expired, we should quit. We have taken back this part of the land. Because there's no more agreement between us and Jonathan and school. So, this part of that remaining is government. The other one that been built on, they are built up. Let it go. Before we did it, the other party has gone to arbitration. Okay. It was okay. Until free from arbitration. That's where we have.
Thanks to all of you for sending in your questions and being a part of the program this week. Remember to let us know the happenings in your neighborhood using the social media handles showing right now on your screens. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kayla Megwa. See you next time.